So this is very unique to your brand, to the energy of your brand, to the look and feel and the design of your brand, how you speak. All of that you can put all of that into AI and then generate some sort of prompt, or what do we call it? A little narrative, and then plug that into your brand voice. So if you're creating documents, for instance, and you're using Magic Write in Canva, this will adhere to that brand voice. So it just gives you a little bit of seamless, and consistency across your brand.
This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Krikey and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. All right, well, that brings me to our main session tonight, which is probably what you've all been waiting for, is to learn what Jenny Mutu has in store for us tonight. So I know that Jenny has been working pretty solidly over the week, exploring some of the newer features in Canva. She was already across some of these, and she does show me some of the amazing stuff that she does do on Canva. But tonight, is there time to showcase it? When I sort of threw in and said, let's do a session this week, I really only gave her a week's notice, but then we extended that by a week because someone else came in last week and Russell in last week. So she's got 2 weeks to prepare. So I know it's going to be absolutely sensational. She's going to me, no, don't say all this here. So let's put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Jenny Mutu.
Thank you, Nick. I think I can go home now. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this and where you're watching from. I'm really excited to share with you some of the tools and new things that are on Canva. I am not going to be looking at you all in the gallery, and I'm not going to be looking at the chat. So Nick, if you can just keep an eye on that, that would be wonderful. Let me just start by sharing my screen. One moment. All right, let's try that one. I'm also going to share my sound, so hopefully that all works today. Okie dokie. So give me a thumbs up if you can see Canva. Excellent. All right. Okay, so I have to say that some of the way that I've used Canva has changed dramatically over the last few years. And I'm keen to get some feedback from you guys at some point in this session. A lot of what I'll be focused on today is really about speed and efficiency. If I've got lots of time, and especially in the past, I'd love to do designs all day, but actually I don't have that much time anymore. So I'm looking for ways to expedite the design process. And some of that I'm going to share with you today. And hopefully that helps you think about how you can potentially use Canva, get a good result, but not spend, half your life on there if that's not what you want to do. So the first thing I'm going to go through today is a brand kit. If you don't have a brand kit set up for your business and the things that you're doing or you're using Canva for, this is the first place I would suggest you start, mainly because it's going to save you a chunk of time. It's really easy to do and it just gives you that versatility. So to set up a brand kit, all you're going to do is from the dashboard of Canva, go over to brand. You can see the brand kit on the left-hand side there. And to set up a brand kit, all you do is click Add New, give it a name. So I'm just going to call mine Test 2. And then you can go in and do stuff. So I'm just going to go back to the brand kit and just show you what I created earlier. So in the brand kit, you can go ahead and upload any logos that you have for your business. In this case with iConnection, there was just one logo style, but some of you will have different SVG files that you can use where your colors are inverted, you know, you've got transparent backgrounds, all of that stuff. So all of that can get loaded in the logo section. What was interesting about this, as soon as I uploaded the logo, Canva picked up the first two colors automatically. So it picked up the white and the yellow. And then I went into a platform called Colors. So Nick, maybe you want to put that link into the chat. So Colors basically is a palette generator. And if you're like me and you don't want to spend half your life looking at what are some colors that are going to complement what you've got in your brand kit, if you've only got a couple, this will help you find some other colors that are suitable. So I've just used that to generate 3 other colors that we can use in our design. And just simply to do that, you would just click on the little plus. And if you know the hex code, which I was able to get off the colors website, once I did that search, I could just plug that in there. If you're just mucking around, you can drag that all over the place until you're happy with the color that you have. I'm going to take that off. Next section in there is the fonts. So this is really just going to save you, again, a chunk of time. So go in and click on what sort of font are you going to use for titles. So this might be in presentations. If you're using the website feature in Canva, if you're making lead magnets, that kind of thing, you're going to want to set up that. So simply click on that little box section. You can see it's got a purple line surrounding it, so you know that you've selected that. You can go ahead and select the font that you want. So in this case, Oswald, you can select the size, what heading type it is. If you want it in bold, you can have it that way as well. And then just clicking on the tick to get that set. And so you go through and you have a look. Are you going to use subtitles? You might want to set that. I haven't quite done that for this, but I might pick Montserrat, for instance, and go, yep, a light, that's going to suit me fine. And go through and do all of that for your fonts. So the main ones here, if you're thinking you don't want to set all of these, and you can see there are some of these I haven't set. So the section header, for instance, the quote, the captions, you can always go back and do that later. But the main ones, I think, are the title, the heading, subheading, and the body, because they're the things that you're going to be using across the board. So whether you're doing designs like for posts and social media, or you're creating presentations, that kind of thing, are all going to be used there. There's also a little great feature here, and you can use AI so to help you with this, but this is a section where you can put in your brand voice. So this is very unique to your brand, to the energy of your brand, to the look and feel and the design of your brand, how you speak. All of that you can put all of that into AI and then generate some sort of prompt, or what do we call it, a little narrative, and then plug that into your brand voice. So if you're creating documents, for instance, and you're using Magic Write in Canva, this will adhere to that brand voice. So it just gives you a little bit of seamless, and what am I looking for? What's that word, Nick? Consistency. That's what I'm looking for. Consistency across your brand. You do have some options of adding photos here. And this is really, when you click on that, it's going to look for photos that are in your drive, which is kind of annoying because Canva now has, let us say, one of the biggest licenses for photos I've ever seen. I've gone back to some of the other platforms that I used to use, like Pixabay or Unsplash, and they're just not great anymore. So it would have been great to be able to just pick from those and actually populate the photos from there. You can try it by going into photos, putting it in design, and then trying to download it. Sometimes that works, but it actually breaches Canva's license. You need more elements in use to be able to do that. So but if you do have photos, things around expos or events and things like that, that you want to be able to use, this would be the place to do that. Again, graphics, icons, charts. I think for most of you that I know of in business, maybe you're not going to use those and you're just going to use the features that are currently in Canva. But if you've got specific things that are designed for you and your business, this would be the place to put that in. All right, so why do we do this? So this is the first thing, is to save time. So the next thing I'm going to get you to do is have a look and what are you going to create in Canva? What are you going to use Canva for? Now, I don't mind admitting that I'm somewhat anal retentive. So for me, I have things in order, and it'll be interesting if I can find it. Created a, let's have a look. Where did I put it? Nope, not there either. So much for saving time. Eye connection. I think that's where I've put it. So hopefully you can see on my screen now the eye connection folder. So Canva allows you to create project folders, and I would highly recommend you do that. One of the things that I do is think about what is my workflow for creating marketing collateral. So I would start with a website blog. And the website blog would then help me think about the social media that I need to create. So this isn't showing or displaying in order right now. But I would do it that way. So then that helps me create social media. So anything in terms of a website blog image would go into this first folder. And I would create a design. It would meet a certain specification. So if I'm using eye connection, I would set it up so it's that custom size and it would be in there. The next one would be social media. So inside of the social media folder, for instance, so I've created my website blog. I now want to use AI to help me generate LinkedIn posts based on my blog. So any images I create that correspond with those posts will go into the LinkedIn folder. So if I double click on there, I don't know if I've got much in there at the moment. So these were just set up for today. I've got Instagram posts. So again, following on from the blog, and then Facebook. So the great thing about this is once I generate a particular image, so if I go back to my website blog, I will generate images for that. And then I can just use the resize function to resize it in all of the different platforms, and then just file them into the appropriate folders, which is very handy. All right. Where are we going next? Then we've got presentations or webinars that we might hold. So again, I would suggest you create some templates that you're using consistently, and they can get stored there, and then you're not having to recreate the wheel. I also have an images folder. So as I'm looking at photos and different images in Canva, I will actually just add them into here so that I can use them in designs if I need to. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it would be to star it. So I'll show you that in a minute. And finally, I just have a folder for logos where I would upload any logos that I'm using. Again, there is different folders. You can access them from different places inside of Canva. Now, I'm sure you've noticed this, that certain navigation tools become available or not available depending on where you are in Canva. So sometimes it's nice just to have these things set up in different places so you've got that convenience there for you. All right. So the next part of this brand kit that I would recommend that you do is go into your templates. So these are all the different templates that exist inside of Canva, and have a look at what are the templates that suit you, suit your message, suit your branding, and with a little bit of tweaking are going to save you time. So I do a lot of posts, even if they're on LinkedIn, I tend to do them in a Instagram square, and that tends to work for most platforms, so I don't have to recreate the wheel. So I will tend to go here and social media, and then pick Instagram posts. And then go through and have a look at which posts or which of these templates are going to work really well for my business. And I'll go ahead and star them. So if I've got the smash go / eye connection hat on, I'm going to look for things that are sort of AI, even though I know I can change some of this. So look at this one's digital marketing. I'm going to go ahead and star it. And then just keep going and looking for things that work and just starring what works, right? So this is all saving you time for later. And now what happens is, once I've started, where do I go? Where can I find it? Well, you might notice on the left-hand side here is a number of different options. And the last one in there is the starred content. So if I click on starred content, there are all the things that I've starred. So now these are things I can go in, I can customize this template. There we go. And because I've set up my brand kit, it makes it really easy. So once it's loaded, I need elevator music. Over to my brand kit on the left-hand side. And then you can see the colors there, and I can literally click on the shuffle feature and have a look at how it just continues to change the design. So that's one element that I can change. I can, of course, change all of these sections. All of these elements can be changed. And I can also change the font. So if you think that you haven't quite landed on a font style for your business and you might need some help with font pairing, there are some websites outside of Canva that will help you do that. But in Canva, you can actually go over to the design tab on the left-hand side, and you see how there's templates and then there's styles. So if you click on styles, there's a couple of things here. So number one, it has a combination of colors and fonts that you can select, and it will change both. So if I click on this one, for instance, Anton, it will change the font style used and it will change the colors. And if I just keep clicking, you will see it will cycle through those colors. It will cycle through the font style that's used. So that's one form. And it's called the combinations, right? So if we go into combinations, we can have a look. There's a whole stack. And I can just pick stuff that works. So hopefully you're picking consistent fonts and colors that work for your business. But if you're doing stuff for clients or you're working on something new and fun, this is fantastic for that. So these are combinations of colors and fonts. We can go over to color palettes and just work with the colors themselves and change that. And again, I just keep clicking on that same font palette and it cycles through the colors. Or I can look at just the font sets. So this is where your font pairing is happening. And you can have a look at what works together and what doesn't. This is also really good if you are making ebooks, for instance, and you've got headings and you've got subheadings and things like that. You can use these font sets to help you decide what's going to look good for the particular ebook that you've created. And of course, the ebooks might be a little bit more off-brand, or you might have a little bit more flexibility there. So that's pretty cool feature. I would normally, we got here because I was looking at the templates. So I would, brand this according to the iConnection brand and set all of that up. And then I could reuse this again and again, right? So I could reuse it by changing the color backgrounds. I could change these icons. I could change what the actual text says. So this is a template I could use repeatedly. Now, one of the goals that we have inside of our business is to build up a bank of, 300 different posts over a period of time that you could then load up into iConnection and just repurpose. So if you think about your business, what is the cadence of offers that you put out to the marketplace? Maybe you have one particular high ticket item that you offer twice a year, and you've got a whole campaign that you design to go out 6 weeks before that launch date. Then you've got a whole, collateral of material that then gets loaded into iConnection, and you can schedule that all to happen seamlessly for you, right? So it's going to save you a chunk of time. And that's how I would think about how are you going to do your posting. So there's ad hoc stuff, you're just doing it on the day, you're at an event, that kind of stuff. There's the things that you can plan for. So things like quotes, you might have some regular quotes that go out once a week, that kind of thing. Then you've got your campaign. So where is the money coming in, at what cadence, and which products, what time, and then design your whole campaigns in advance around that. All right, so that is why we set up all of the brand kits, get the templates going, just makes life easy. I'm going to just pause there real quick and see if anyone has any questions on that one. Just take yourself off mute because I can't see you all. Going. All right, I'm going to keep going in that case.
Sorry,
All right,
Jenny,
so
Janine, I was a little bit slow
that's
in
all
the middle of doing
right.
something. The setting up the folders, so
Yes.
there's folders there, and then I tried to drag some images, creations already across into those
Yeah.
folders, but it didn't seem to move them. The word
Okay.
move didn't come
Let's
up.
have a quick look. It's always fun doing this on the fly. So you can see on my screen at the moment, I've got like designs. It says all designs, folders, images, videos, etc. Right? So
Yep.
if I go to the home page of Canva here, just waiting for that to load, you should have 3 dots on your design at the top right-hand side. If you're on, are you on the dashboard or are you actually in the design?
I was on the dashboard.
So your dashboard meaning the same image that I've got on my page?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So the 3 dots on the right-hand side. Do you see that?
Yep.
And then we go to move, which is the 4th one down, I think, 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
and then you
going
just
through each photo.
my internet is very slow.
Yeah, so go each photo and then move.
Yeah. So it's a little bit clunky. Yeah. Yep.
That one didn't come up with a move. Okay.
So then you just select the folder that you want it to move to.
Yeah.
So I'll just click Insta.
Those ones I'm clicking on that I want to move aren't coming up with move.
Oh, okay. And you're definitely on the page that I'm on?
Yeah, the first one I was playing with that I just created while you were doing that gives me the option to move it. So I'm just wondering whether they're in the folders, if I can find where they are again. Lots of folders.
Okay, so on the left-hand side, you'll have a projects button. So you can see where your folders are there. And you just, if you have to change the view, you can change the view. And you would do that just simply by, it's got all projects. I would select folders. And then
I've got the folders again, but those ones that aren't allowing me to move it aren't in there.
Okay, great. So the other option that you can do then is you can open the actual design. So let me pick something that hasn't been moved. And then go up to the top and you'll see File on the left-hand side in the blue menu.
Yep.
And it should give you an option to move it to the folder there. So again, it says move.
No, it doesn't.
Really? Are you on a paid plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll have a look at it after with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to hold up everyone else. No, I just was thinking, is there an easy thing? But it just wasn't.
Okay. I'm not sure what's happening there, but yeah, generally that should be how it works.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're following along and you're doing this next one is going to be a little bit of fun. So Canva has a new feature called Canva AI, which basically allows you to put in a prompt and then it will generate something for you. So I prepared, you will get a list of prompts that I sort of used AI to generate at the end of this session, but just for a bit of fun, I thought, and this is all fun. Let's see, project. Okay, let's start again. So Canva AI, I'm going to ask it to, so I've asked it to give me I've gone into Perplexity to start with. I've asked it to give me a bulletproof prompt to plug into Canva AI and asked it to stick to the character limit because there is a character limit in here. and that I want to turn a still portrait of my CEO into an animated video where he looks like he's bopping along to the latest rap music video. All right, so it's given me a prompt. I'm just going to copy and paste that into the Canva AI section. And I'm going to add an image. No, where are we? This one has created an image. So all right, some of these features, so just clicking on this, for instance, it does allow you to upload an image. And sometimes, a little bit clunky, it will allow you to select an image from what's within Canva. So this is interesting, discovering where things are available, where they're not, when, and all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, let's see what happens with this. All right, so not quite what I was expecting, but anyway, we've got there. There is another feature I'll show you in a little bit around how you can use this. So Canva AI, you can use a whole bunch of different prompts. And as I said, you do have some ones that I'll give you at the end of this to do all sorts of designs. So you can design a social media post, for instance, a logo. You can design, ask it to do some marketing for you, for instance. So let's just go ahead and do a social media, and I want to market my CRM to business owners and highlight the benefit of workflows as an example, and we'll just go ahead. Create social media. All right. Now, I have found this worth exploring. I will say that there's some pros and cons to Canva AI. So if you've been used to using AI platforms outside of Canva, you might find this a little bit more clunky, a little less agile, and it's each to their own for this one. I'm finding the results are quite mixed as well. So the good thing is, you can see here, it gives you some really good options for ideas around different designs. So if this sort of takes you out of your comfort zone, if your design tends to have the same look and feel, so it gives you some ideas there. You're not starting with a blank slate. And if this saves you time, bonus. You can also click on more designs here and it'll generate another set of designs. What I do find in terms of the cons, if you like, is that you can't actually edit this. So if I was to open this design in Canva, normally, oh look, it's going to make a liar of me today. Some of these designs you will find don't allow you to edit anything. They kind of download as a JPEG into this file. Some of them apparently do allow you. So this is going to allow me to edit the text, which is fantastic, but it's not going to allow me to edit any of the aspects of the image here. You can see that that's all just one image. So a little bit clunky in that sense. I can still change the background. So if I'm using my brand kit here, I can still shuffle, but you can see that there's some limitations into how much you can change. Again, worth exploring to be able to see what you can do there. There is the option also in the Canva AI to upload images. So you can upload an image, you can upload your logo into that by just clicking here and add from Canva. There you go. See what I mean by some of those features being available at some points and not at others. Very interesting. And you can apply your brand kit. So that's obviously a new feature. So have a little play with that. It does allow you to do some funky stuff. One of the things that I haven't quite explored enough yet that I would like to, has anyone heard of Google VO3 by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you can jump onto Google VO3 and actually make videos from text, and Canva has integrated VO3 into their design. So we're going to give that a go and see what comes up here. So again, the prompt is, can you create me a bulletproof prompt for Canva AI to create a video for me to market my CRM to my target audience that includes text, audio, and images? Stick to the character limit of Canva AI. So it's given me a prompt here. And I do tend to find if you get AI to give you the prompt, there's less massaging involved and you get a quicker result faster. So it's worth doing. This is limited to 8 seconds because it takes up quite a bit of bandwidth, and maybe in time as the tech improves, it'll be better. So essentially that's what you do, and it's going to go to work and generate something there. Oh, look, it can't add text to videos. Fair enough. Let's recreate the prompt, take the text out, and you can add that separately. Just making sure I don't have anything else in there. Okay, let's try that one. All right, so while that's generating, we'll come back and have a look. So worth having a play with that. You can go to Google Suite. So there's a couple of links I'll drop in the chat directly. So Gemini AI, you can access VO3 from there, and you can also access VO3 from VO3 in a Google Studio. All right, let's keep moving, guys. Next one up is Animator. So I'm curious, has anyone used Animator? You can take yourself off chat, or off mute, I should say. All right, so again, I'm going to put a photo of Nick in this one. And Animator you will find under apps. So just click on apps. And you can type it in, or you can go looking for it. There it is there, the Animator. So this one is great. You only get 1 credit for this one per day. So if you are going to use it, make sure it's a really good prompt. Again, I'll use that previous prompt that I had before and see how much of that I can get in there. And I'll click. Oh, it's going to do that. All right. Let's see. I won't use Rob. There we go. I'll do that one instead. So apps, you'll find the Animator in apps. I've just put a funky prompt in there. Again, the same one that we used before. So portrait of the CEO bopping along to some rap music. It's just a bit of fun, guys. That's all. But you can use these things to pop out your designs a bit more. I know Moana's on here and she's always got some amazing graphics for her posts and they're very engaging. So it's just a different element for you to try. Jacqueline, you've got the water, so you might have some things around, like just a bit of a meme of you drinking water, for instance, right? All right, let's have a look and see what this did. So I can't quite see it from there. Okay, so there I am bopping along. I don't know if you caught that, which is pretty good when you think about it, like the way that the imagery is actually really good. So if I wanted to now add some music to that, I could go along again to the apps section. And I've tried a few of the AI music creations. I've got to say some are better than others. And I think my favorite is the AI music maker. So if you just type that in, it'll bring it up. AI music maker, it's just this one. And again, this will generate this will generate music for you based on a particular prompt. So rather than go through this process, again, this is credits that refresh every day, so you can use it once every day. But I prepared one earlier that I want to show you. So I used the animator on this. I created some monsters. They were all single images that I created in Midjourney and then just put them all together. Use the animator to make them move. And then I put a prompt into, or I asked Perplexity to create a prompt for me. And hopefully you're going to be able to hear the music. Essentially to create some Muppet style theme music, right? So it was a really good prompt. It did that. And this is the result of that. Just let me know if you can hear the sound.
No sound.
No sound. Yeah, I can't hear the sound either. Let's try this way. Mm. Let me try one more time, guys. Could you hear the music on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that music actually got generated, like it was over a minute's worth of music, which was really fantastic. All right, you get the point. So if you're looking for stuff that's engaging, like music is often, I mean, a lot of people search socials without sound, so I take that, but it's just something a little bit dynamic. And if you're creating, you know, as I said, I've created these monsters out of Midjourney and then started to incorporate them into Canva. For me, that AI music generator, honestly, I think that was one of the best features that I've found, and I love the diversity and I love how original that sound is, you know, so it's not something that other people are going to recognize. It's not necessarily something that other people are going to be thinking about generating in the AI as well. All right, the next one is, I'm going to come to that one soon, Speed Painter. So if you've ever wondered, you know, how you're going to get Canva or what kind of animation you can implement, this one is pretty funky. It's called Speed Painter. Again, you would go into apps to find it. Type in Speed Painter and you'll see there's a couple of different options here. There's this one and that one. So I'm just going to pick one and see how we go. So we can select whether we want to select an image or the page. So just to expedite things here, I'm going to pick image. The sketch duration, so you can change the times of this. Just be mindful, sometimes when these things drag on, they can be a bit boring. You can fill it with color, and then the color fill duration, another 3 seconds. You can choose the type of hand you want selected and the type of canvas background. So I actually haven't done that. We're going to do a live demo today. So I'm going to pick the white background and click generate. Now, prior to coming on this call, I connected the app. So all of that was set up in the back end. If you're using that for the first time, you probably have to do that. All right, let's see what comes out of this. Almost there.
Jenny, what app would you suggest to use to create that image that you have there? So if you had a photo of two people on a computer and then you wanted to generate that into a cartoony type look, is it Midjourney that you would use?
You could try it. I'm still experimenting with Midjourney, and one of the things that I'm experimenting with, like I showed you my monsters before, is how I can get Midjourney to consistently create those monsters. So I would give it a go in that. if the image is of two real people and you wanted to cartoonify them, Canva actually has an app in there called Cartoonify. So you could try that and see if the results are to your expectation and what you want. But certainly, probably my first point of call, jump into Perplexity or jump into ChatGPT and ask it to help you generate the kind of prompt that's going to give you the kind of result that you want, and then go into Midjourney and try that. Does that make sense?
Yep, certainly does. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to come back to this because it's taking a little bit of time. Let's see if the other thing, there we go. There's our CEO. And this is the video that this created. So let's see if we can, you know what, I think I'm going to download it, but let's see if it plays. Here we go.
This CRM has truly streamlined my operations, giving me more time to focus on what I love.
Wow. Okay, so it's only 8 seconds, remember, but you impressed with that? I'm impressed with that. It's not bad. So one more watch, since it's so
This CRM has truly streamlined my operations, giving me more time to focus on what I love.
All right, so if this happened to be the intro of your video, like some sort of marketing or ads or that kind of thing, you could actually download that, plug that into some sort of presentation or video module inside of Canva, and then start to backfill it with other things, right? And assuming you have enough credits, you could then go in and generate another prompt that's going to get you to the next section. Obviously, with this particular prompt, we didn't give it a script, but that's something that you could think about and could actually work for you. All right, let's go back to Speed Painter. That's still going, no problem. So one of the other things I did want to show you, and hopefully this is going to work because I'm going to change screens here, Nick. So if you can just let me know. Can you see my VLC player?
No.
No, okay, no worries. Hang on a sec. Just waiting for my... where are we? All right. One last thing, two last things I want to show you before we go. So in apps, again, one more time, just pick a different... All right, so apps. And type in Krikey. So
You're not sharing, right?
yes, I'm not, am I? So yeah, if you type in Krikey under apps, you'll see Krikey AI Animate. Somebody mentioned that they're experimenting with this. I think it was you, Jeff. So you may want to look at this, Krikey AI Animate. A little bit kiddish, but you know, it could work for some of you if you want something different. So in here, you would choose an avatar, and they've got a whole list in here, which is kind of cool. Also, the type of animation that you want. So birthday, dancing, agreeing, and the list goes on. So a whole bunch of stuff. So you would choose what you want there. I'm not going to do that now just because I've done it before, and I'll show you what got created. So hopefully the internet doesn't lag. But this is the prompt I put in. When it comes to marketing, most business owners feel like it's anything but simple. In this video, marketer and instigator of online success expert Nick Cree will take you through the basics, right? So that's what I put in, asked it to, I can choose the language, which is awesome for some of you who are wanting to branch out. I can choose the voice style and go through and select a whole bunch of those and actually preview the voice before I commit to it. And then I can generate the video. So let me show you what it produced as a result.
We lost your screen.
I'm just about to share a new screen. Can you see that? So basically just created, this is what it did.
When it comes to marketing, most business owners feel like it's anything but simple in this video. Marketer and instigator of online success, expert Nick Krikey will take you through the basics.
All right, so bit of fun again there. So you can see like there's some diversity around how you use this. Whether it's going to work for you or not, that's something you need to decide, but it's just adds a little bit of flair. Some of the syntax in that one is a bit clunky, but that's just how that is. All right, so back to Speed Painter. This is what this generated. Where are we? Don't tell me I lost it. Oh, there it is. So just create a new page, add to design. I can resize this and you can see it's doing the graphics. So this one is quite a good one if you're using this for just something different in your promos, especially if you have not used it heavily before. I quite like this for the animation aspect and just the flexibility it gives. So again, if you're creating something like, so a lot of people are not reading books anymore, right? So imagine that you are going to create an ebook version of your book, but with voiceover. And you start with an image that you created, you put it in there, you get Speed Painter to do its job. And now if you wanted to, you could actually go into here and we're happy with this, so I can click out of that, go back. So did we all see how that worked? Yeah. Yep. And now I can present. So if I wanted to create a bit of a presentation here, this is how I could do that. And I would go ahead and click present. There's also the option to go into the upload section and record yourself. So if you decided, hey, you know what, I'm going to create an ebook that people actually listen to, they get some visuals as well. Maybe they get the text on the screen, but it's me reading to them. I can come into here and you've got a couple of different options. Again, I'm not going to demo this right now. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Record a talking head. So that's you. Record a voiceover. So that could be you storytelling or reading your ebook, adding that dimension of your energy and your voice to things. Or you can try out the AI voice and use that instead and just see what's going to work for your audience. So that's quite cool. That just gives you some extra ways for people to consume your material. Because guys, that's what we're up against right now. There's so much being bombarded at people that trying to get them not only to see your stuff, but to actually consume it is a real challenge. So we're looking for ways and edges to make it easy for people to engage with us, to listen to the content that we've got to share and actually be able to apply or use what they're learning from us to make it so that we actually have some value to give and they're going to come back to us. All right, the last thing I want to show you then, and hopefully I haven't overloaded you all, but is Carousel Studio. And I have to say, I think this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, got an error here. Let me just load it up. What I like about this, I said to you at the very beginning, like the workflow that I create is a blog post. From the blog post, I then generate the LinkedIn articles. From the LinkedIn articles, I then create the Instagram posts, so we're getting to graduated less text for each platform, and I need some images to go with there. Well, I don't want to spend half my day figuring out an Instagram carousel, and good thing I don't need to anymore. So what we can do is we can go into apps, we can look up Carousel Studio and select that. Here it is in the purple. And what this allows me to do is one of two things. I can either put a prompt in here and have it generate a Instagram carousel for me, or because I've already created a blog, I can actually go into my website, find the link where the blog has been posted or uploaded, and then just copy and paste the blog URL in there. So I did that earlier today and asked it to generate the carousel for me, but you can select some different things in here, right? So you can select themes, and each theme that you select is going to bring up some different colors. It's going to bring up different font styles. So if there's something in here that works for you, fantastic. If there's not, that's okay. Because what you can do is, well, the fonts are pretty, there we go. So we clicked on fonts and now we can pick a font style that we want. So that was the heading. I just clicked in where it said Alice. And now if I click in where it says Rasputin, it'll bring up the font for me to choose again. With the colors, I can change the colors. So if I click on that circle where the colors are, I can now click my brand colors and make sure that my brand colors are actually what get transferred. When I did this earlier today, I picked that dark color just because it was easy, right? So once I've set all of that, I've got the author name in there for Nick Cree. I can then just click generate. And then what it did is actually generate these tiles for me. So I'm just going to go full screen so you can have a look. So this was the carousel it created, and each of the elements in this carousel you are able to edit. So you can actually go in and click. If there's anything in terms of the text that doesn't make sense or that needs changing, if you can see here, the number 2 is sort of up by itself and it kind of looks a little bit odd. We can fix all of that and the spacing between the headings and the actual body text. And now I've got my carousel. And look, this particular design might not be something I use every time, but because I can change things in here, it's very easy for me to add a different background image or to modify it in any way that I think is going to work better for my brand. And let's go ahead back to that colors icon and let's see what can get changed here. There we go. So am I making a case for the brand kit yet? And if I don't like this and I want to change it directly, I can click on that color and it gives me the option to pick one of the colors from my actual brand kit from here. So I can just make it white, for instance. And then of course I'm going to go in and have to change the text in it and all of that sort of stuff. So that is the Carousel Studio. I would recommend you have a play with it and give that a go. All right, Nick, I think that's it for me. I'd love to get some feedback from the group and see what they might use the most or what they found really useful. And yeah, just get some feedback.
Jenny is Janine. I put in a picture of me in that animated one and said, I'll make this picture of me laughing my head off. It's hilarious.
You want to share?
My face. It wouldn't let me upload a video.
You know what? If you go into Canva on that image and click share and create a public view link, you can actually just pop it in the chat and we can all have a look at it. How's that?
You can go to my Facebook page and have a look because I posted it up there.
All right. Okay. No worries.
But it even so it's just it's a photo of me with a border around it that I use on my LinkedIn page, and it even put my hand up to my face while I was laughing.
Yeah, wow,
Really
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it is good.
I'll see if I can share it now, but otherwise I'll go to my Facebook page.
All right, no worries. Steve, I can see you're unmuted.
Yeah, Jenny, thank you so much. What a great presentation. I actually did a post today in regards to Melanie Perkins, the CEO founder. I'm just going to put into the chat so people can have a look at. But some of those videos, like LinkedIn has just put a new feature in when you can actually, for your newsletters or any articles, put a 50-second video up in your newsletter. So I can see that would be a great application for that. And I'll put that into the chat as well so people can have a look at. But thanks for the presentation. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you're welcome. I can see actually if you combine some of those features that I showed you. So today I showed you Speed Painter and then gave you the idea of the voiceover, but you could use Google Neo to generate a video and do a voiceover on that instead. And if you're using credits every day, you can eventually just piece all of these together, right? So if you've got a LinkedIn newsletter, it might be like, or for instance, to promote your LinkedIn newsletter, you create a video that actually tells people, hey, this is what this newsletter is about, Yeah, it's good. So we need to think laterally about how to use these tools. I like to have a bit of fun when I present this, but definitely thinking about saving time and getting that engagement. Thank you. Anyone else? Any questions? Is there any feature that anyone could see themselves using or exploring a little bit more?
Jenny, hi, it's David here. I just had a quick one. The brand kit that you were doing there, that
Yeah,
looks pretty similar to the ChatGPT brand brain. Is that
a little bit different, Dave.
is that kind of a similar thing, where you set it up to sort of output, your business's format?
Essentially, yep. Everything with me is about systems and processes. So we start at the baseline and we work our way up. So same function in terms of it being a system for you to be able to just keep reusing. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Because
Yep.
I did have a play around with Canva. It's not something I use that often or haven't used that often. And yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing to get all that, done for my brand. And so I think setting up that brand brain, it would just, if it's just going to spit it out in the colors that I've got in the text, is very handy. So I appreciate you going with that one.
The great thing about the brand kit is that you can actually set up different brand kits. So you can have multiples in there. You would have seen that I demonstrated. So just to give you an idea, under my Academy brand, I've created a whole bunch of ebooks, and each ebook is a different color. So I have my brand, I have multiple brand kits set up for each of the colors of those different books. So again, it's saving heaps of time.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Jeff, do you think you'll be exploring that AI, the avatar in Krikey? Jeff Summers, because he mentioned that he was looking at that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm studying a whole lot of stuff with AI at the moment. Trying to
I
put
love
all
it, Jeff. I love it.
And I'm using Canva at the moment for a lot of images.
Yeah.
Jenny, with the carousel, is there a limit to the number of images you can put on?
As in the number of tiles it will generate?
Yes.
I'm actually not sure about that. I think the prompt I used might have been, I think, no, I didn't put a limit on the prompt. You'd have to experiment and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Steve?
what are the character limits for Canva?
For the Canva AI prompt, like so that from that dashboard there where it's doing different things, it's about 280. So 260 or 280 characters is about all it can handle. But again, if you're using, Perplexity or ChatGPT to help you create that prompt, you can put in the limit there.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. Well, guys, feel free to share your designs with us or tag us in the Smash Go Facebook group. I'd love to have a look. Janine, I'm definitely going to have a look and see what you created there. Anyone else impressed with the AI music maker? Or, yeah, no, maybe. All right, a few Daves, yep. All right, well, thank you for letting me share this. It's a bit of a passion of mine, and I hope you were able to take something away that you can use in your businesses.
All right.
Outstanding.
Well, thank you. Yes, a big round of virtual applause for Jenny. You can see that I actually don't have to play in Canva at all, because why would I when I've got an expert like this that just loves playing in it and shows me all the stuff she does. I'm actually on the Facebook page of Janine's at the moment, and the laughter that she's got in her image is sensational. So Canva's certainly come a long way from the very early days. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. I do look forward to seeing some of your creations. I know Jenny would love to see some of your creations as well too, so do share them freely with her or in the Business Owners Smashing Along online Facebook group. We do have a prize for tonight as well too, as well as an offer for you as well. Jenny and I have run the Canva for Business program, I think so maybe 3 or 4 times, and we have to keep on doing it because it keeps on changing. The tools keep on changing with it. So tonight, if you do want to avail yourself of what the latest program that we did run, then we're going to drop a link for that into chat. Normally charge $9.97 for that, for people that come along and do that live and for the recordings. But tonight you can get it for $2.97. It's up on our site. It'll be available till midnight on Friday. So if that's something you do want to avail yourself of and do want to learn a bit more about Canva and some of the things that it will do, it'll be available until Friday midnight at $2.97. And when we run the next session, this is your ticket into it as well too. So you won't be paying $9.97 for it. You'll get that included because anyone that does the Canva course can come along to any other Canva course for free for life. So
Nick, what day is that other one? What day
this one is a recording of the sessions that we have done. So it's a course that's all recorded. It's a 6-week course. The next one coming up, we haven't decided yet, but we'll let you know when that is. So just keep an eye out on your emails. But we will tonight for the Lucky Door Prize. We're going to draw that tonight. So some lucky person here has the opportunity to win it. So special way of drawing it. Don't leave yet. You have to be in the room to win it. If you disappear now, then we just go and redraw it. So we have a wheel of names here. All of your names are in this wheel of names. And the prize, as I say, is a Canva Mastery for Business 6-week program. This is the replay of it. It's the course that's up on our website. There's up there for sale on our website. So you get it for free. So let's spin this wheel and see who our lucky winner is tonight. All right. Virtual drum roll, please. There it goes. And our lucky winner is... Look at this. I can't believe this. That is Paul Kennedy. How many times?
Goodness me, Nick, what's happening here?
This is not collusion, I can tell you.
Well, look, I reckon I could sell them to some highest bidder. Look, Nick, it is a bit embarrassing, this. A bit like David, I've won several times in the last few months. And look, to be really honest, Jenny, I wouldn't get as good a value out of this as many of the other people here. So I'm more than happy to put it back into the pool, and for doing so I'd only look to charge $2.96. I just thought that makes it doubly attractive. I'm joking about the $2.96. I'm happy to put it back into the pool and do a free spin.
I do have to ask you though, Paul, have you bought your lotto ticket yet? Because there seems to be something going on with you that would encourage me to do that if I was you.
Look, my wife, she just keeps telling me I'm a lucky guy, and she must be right.
Yeah, she's a wise woman. All right, well, let's thank you, Paul. Let's put that back on the wheel again with sort of a second choice draw. So if you thought you're out, you're now back in again, thanks to Paul. So let's spin the wheel again, and I'll see who our second chance winner is.
Are you there, Nick?
Fingers crossed. Yes.
I should tell you, in the playing of the other spin the wheel or spin the bottle, I was never so lucky.
Yes, yeah. Well, it just took a while for you to sort of to get the lucky streak in.
I'm not David Fisher.
Look at this. This is the other guy that always wins stuff as well.
Is there anybody else here in the room other than David and I?
Well, that's interesting. I will pass that one on to my wife because she's the expert on that field. But what a big win, isn't it?
Excellent, excellent. Well done. Josie is on the call as well too. So Josie, this is your early birthday your early Christmas present from David. Well done. So well done.
That's cool.
This is why I think Paul and David keep showing up, because they keep on winning sort of stuff. And
I think it's the magnet that we put underneath it, isn't it? That's what you do.
I think so. And
it's got to be something like that.
And we have turns as well.
And David and I, we talk about this, and we just sit here and wait for other people to drop out. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Whatever the strategy is, I want to know what it is. So.
That's all right. Well, we can't share our secret, of course. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, that is the session for tonight. If you've enjoyed the session, it will be up on the Smashco YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. If you're not a subscriber there, go and subscribe. We'll drop the links into chat about now. very shortly. I think it's all in there now. So now is a good time to save the chat. So save the chat by clicking the three little dots on the top right-hand side of the chat. When you do save it, there's a little link that says reveal it in Finder or wherever you've saved it. Click on it, then you don't have to search for it. It'll be there ready for you. So as I say, it'll be up on the Smash Go YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. If you do want to watch it again straight away, it's actually been streamed on Facebook as well too, so you can find it there as well. So that is our session tonight. Thank you, Jenny, for a very revealing session. And next week, the session is all about funnels. So we're going to be focusing in on the whole aspect of creating funnels for Christmas, which of course is the time when most people are spending up because of Christmas and New Year, and they're all relaxed. So we're going to talk about some of the aspects of that as well. So if you wonder how to put some of those together, come along next week and we'll talk about that. All right, that's our session for tonight. Thanks everyone for coming along. I'll see you again next week. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Kree, spelled Nikree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.